لماذا ينجبون أعدادا كبيرة من البنات والبنين؟ يعني كان الرد جميل. نعم. الرد جميل. نحن ننجب هؤلاء بكثرة لندفعهم حتى للموت.
عبد الله، كيف حالك؟
الحمد لله.
يعني أنت ستكمل المسيرة بعد براء؟
سأكمل.
احكي تفضل. ايش بدك تعمل بعد براء، بعد استشهاد براء بالأمس عشان الأسرة وعشان الوطن؟
حجاهد ورابط واستشهد زيه
إن شاء الله. إن شاء الله. محمد، ماذا ستفعل بعد استشهاد براء؟ هل ستكمل مسيرة براء وتمشي على ذات الدرب؟
نعم. حكم زي هيك حضرني زي، وإن شاء الله يعني حستشهد زي ما هو استشهد.
معظم رياض الأطفال تابعة لأخواتنا في حركة المقاومة الإسلامية حماس، فعندما نجد أنه الأطفال منذ الصغر يتربين على هذه الثقافة، الله غايتنا في سبيل الله، فتنمى عند الأطفال منذ الطفولة حب الجهاد وحب لقاء الله وحب مقارعة الأعداء، كل هذا منذ الطفولة.
كراهيتنا أو كرهنا لليهود من منطلق عقيدة. القرآن هو اللي بيدعونا ان احنا نكرههم وما نحبهمش.
لو أن اليهود تركوا لنا فلسطين خلاص يبقوا حبايبنا؟ لا طبعا، عمرهم ما هيبقوا حبايبنا إطلاقا. عقيدتك في اليهود: واحد أنهم كفار، اثنين أنهم أعداء. مش أعداء عشان يحتلوا فلسطين، وإنما هم أعداء ولو لم يحتلوا شيئا.
نحن نعادي يهود حتى ولو أعادوا إلينا فلسطين لأنهم كفار.
هؤلاء هم اليهود باختصار، وإن لنا عندهم نحن المسلمين لثأرا لا والله لن ينقضي إلا باستئصالهم بإذن الله تعالى.
أعداء المسلمين بعد إبليس هم اليهود. من الذي قال ذلك؟ الله.
The thing that struck me, Piers, about seeing the 7th of October footage was that even the Nazis were actually ashamed of what they did. SS battalions who spent their days shooting Jews in the back of the head and pushing them into trenches had to get very, very drunk in the evening to forget what they had done. The Nazi high command famously had to sort of get around the problem of soldier morale because the soldiers knew this wasn't exactly what their lives were meant to look like either. I tell you one very big difference. If you look at the footage, the raw footage, and I really hope people don't on a wider scale have to view what I viewed the other day, if they see it, they will see something that is at least as barbaric as what the Nazis did. But here's the difference. They did it with glee. They were deeply proud. You see people trying to, taking the head off a young Israeli man with a shovel and then calling their parents back in Gaza and telling them, Father, I've killed 10 Jews with my own hands. Get mother on the phone. I want to tell her how great a job her son has done.
يابا افتح الوقت شوف كيف قتلت يابا. افتح بتدفع عليك وقت قول له وين بروح. عشان بيدي يابا. يابا على ايدي اعطيني امي. يما يا سميك يما. طول الليل 10 بيدي يما. طول الليل 10 يما بيدي قتلت. يما طول الليل تدورني معاك. يما ربنا يحميك يما. اقتلك.
I come back to this thing. I'm not exaggerating this. It's very, very interesting, and people need to realize. You had this situation with the Nazis, where they also were a genocidal anti-Semitic organization, but they tried to cover their crimes up. Hamas are actually proud of them. And they've said they will do them until the whole world is clear of Jews.
خلص يا 7 مليون فلسطيني برا بكفيكوا تسخين في عندكم يهود في كل مكان يجب أن نهجم على كل يهودي متواجد في الكرة الأرضية ذبحا وقتلا بإذن الله سبحانه وتعالى بكفي تسخين.
So I suggest we take that seriously, and I think that Israel is taking it seriously. I hope they continue to take it seriously, but I think the world should take it seriously, and that includes Britain. And when I hear British journalists, British commentators, and British politicians lecturing the Israelis on what they should do, I think, I'm sorry, this shows a failing in our country. It's us that is the weak link in the international security chain on this, not Israel.
I went to the so-called protest in the days after the massacre on October 7th. And it's interesting to think back and think of the number of times I heard the word genocide before a single bomb had been dropped from the Israelis. It was baked in. It was going to happen. That's what people were going to say. But the fact, again, 2 years hence, that the name of this protest is Flood New York. One would imagine if you were doing some sort of protest and you're invoking, Timothy McVeigh or Ted Kaczynski in the name of the protest to emulate what happened. And it actually said, "Glory to our martyrs," which is what they said that day too. So keeping in mind that before the Gaza Ministry of Health was telling us these very, very high numbers immediately, this is before really anyone, who are the martyrs then? The martyrs of October 7th. Using the words martyrdom and flood in the name of this protest, and no one points this out. No one in the media points this out. They don't say, oh, by the way, it is named after the genocidal operation, actual genocidal operation. Kill as many Jews as we can, the young, the old, the infirm. It's, IDF, who cares? We'll get anyone. And to name it after that in New York City, and as Brett had pointed out before we started, people actually flying Hamas flags. I guess there's a part of that that does surprise me, that it's that blatant. But I will say one thing about the anti-Semitism. There's a particular type of anti-Semitism is really dehumanizing anti-Semitism. There was a video of a woman who got off this flotilla, and she is a British woman, Sarah Wilkerson, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she is a known Holocaust denier. But she was welcomed into this crowd of these nutcases on the far Corbynite left in the UK. And if you watch this video, and I encourage everyone to watch the video, she came off this boat wrapped in a keffiyeh. This is when she arrived, I think, in Turkey. And she said, they're not human. They might look human. They might have hands. They might have ears, but these are not humans. And this person is a Holocaust denier also. But she's on this boat. Nobody said, you know what? Let's let Greta on, but maybe not this sociopath.
Very interestingly, one of the things about the Entebbe raid that people don't realize is that two of the hijackers were members of the German left. One of them used to live with former Foreign Minister Schröder. And they had decided after World War II there was one thing they wouldn't be, which was they wouldn't be Nazis. And this is quite a good idea. It's a good orienting principle, Don't be Nazis. But I just want to stress that that isn't enough on its own. One of the things about the Entebbe hijacking, which is not well enough known, is that when the plane was landed in Uganda, the main hijacker, the German leftist, sorted out the passengers, Jews and non-Jews. Mm-hmm.
Jews and non-Jews. Now, it wasn't just Israelis and non-Israelis. They got the American Jews into the line with the other Jews. And there was a man on the plane at Entebbe, one of several people on the plane who was a Holocaust survivor. And as he heard this German left-winger shouting orders to the Jews after the selection process, he showed his tattoo from the camp and said, I had thought that people had changed. And the hijacker has been quoted by several people present as having said to that man, I'm not a Nazi, I'm an idealist. We've seen these people before.